are here on Lines on Design. Debbie has joined us. We are here at Casual Living, grilling. I love it. Things are wonderful. I tell you, you all can't see it outside, but it's the perfect day to be doing this, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
It's all cold,
It's toasty.
and rainy. We're loving this. Today we're talking about fireplaces and logs. And it's funny because I'm like, when you said we're going to talk about logs, I'm like, logs? I don't even get it. But first of all, the displays that you have are amazing.
Thank you.
But let's talk about logs. I didn't realize there was a difference.
There is a difference. We actually sell two different kinds of logs. A lot of people have wood-burning fireplaces that they've converted to gas.
Okay.
So that would be a vented log.
All right.
Then there's also a non-vented log that must be in a non-vented firebox. So if you have a non-vented firebox or a full masonry firebox, meaning all brick or all stone, you can use non-vented. But if you have a wood-burning firebox, in the owner's manual, it'll tell you if you can put a non-vented set and how many BTUs. And in most cases, you can never, ever, ever put a non-vented set in a vented firebox.
Well, we started talking about logs, but I kind of
Yes.
want to go back to the basics, if you will. Talk to me about fireplaces in the low country. What is trending? What are you seeing? And what are some of the options that are available? Because I didn't realize, again, that there were so many.
Well, while we don't sell fireboxes, we only sell the logs to go in the fireboxes.
Okay.
It's still what's trending are the traditional wood-burning look gas logs.
So
a lot
what
of
is
folks.
this?
Well, this is a vented set. I have 4 burning displays of a vented set.
Okay.
So there's different logs by different manufacturers, and it depends on the look you like. A lot of us, including myself, moved here from up north.
Right.
So we were used to those wood-burning fireplaces.
Yes.
And we want something that's going to give us a little bit of heat without pushing us out of the room, but also it's going to look authentic like it did when we had our wood-burning fireplaces up north.
What kind of control do you have with logs and a fireplace like this?
Well, by control,
I guess what I'm really asking is, when you use these logs, is it like extreme heat, moderate heat?
well,
you know what I'm
code in South Carolina for a vented set is we have to C-clamp your flue, so it has to stay open. So
Okay.
40% of the heat is going to go up your chimney. Now, depending on what kind of gas you have, a lot of people here have propane, some people have natural gas. Natural gas is a gas that burns cleaner and a
Okay.
little bit warmer. So if you take this particular set of logs, or any set of logs, and you
Okay.
look at the BTUs for propane and for natural gas, you're going to see for natural gas it's always higher.
All right, we're going to talk about this. I want to talk about accessories in a second.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about fireplaces and logs, as I've been walking around the showroom, the coolest thing I'm seeing are these electric fireplaces.
Exactly.
Share.
There are a lot of folks that live in a home that don't have an existing firebox, and they want that look and that ambience. We work with a company called Dimplex that makes spectacular fireboxes, and you can do a fireplace that actually has the mantle around it with a firebox.
I saw that.
You can do a media console where a TV goes on top and it's got the firebox, or you can actually just buy the firebox and have it built in however you want to design, and they're absolutely stunning.
One of the coolest ones I just saw, I'm not to interrupt you, but as we get excited, is one, and we're going to show all of these, is the one back there that has the barn doors.
Exactly. Well, if for anyone who watches the Home Improvement Networks and all these HGTV, you know that barn doors are big in everything, either in interior home design, and Stoll makes a beautiful glass door with a barn door, and now there's a media console with a barn door. Absolutely stunning.
So anyone can actually have the electric fireplace.
Exactly, and the beauty of that is we deliver it, we put it in the spot you want, you plug it in, and if you want to move it to a different room or move it to a new house, it goes with you.
When I come in to buy the logs, what do I need to know? What kind of questions do you ask me?
Well, the first question we're always going to ask is, do you have a chimney?
Okay.
We need to know if it's vented or non-vented. Then we need to know the measurements.
Oh, I never
Because
thought about
we
that.
sell different size logs, and we have a formula that's designed to tell us what type of log you want to put in. The next thing you want to choose is, do you want a manual burner or a burner that's compatible with a remote? because in
Okay.
most cases you can't start with a manual burner, which is less expensive, and call me a year later and say, you know, I love my logs, but I want a remote, so can you
Right.
sell me a remote? No.
No.
It's not compatible.
Okay.
So those are probably the most important questions that we are going to ask you, and then we're going to show you, and of course, what kind of gas do you have? Are you
Yes.
propane or natural
I
gas?
learned that today.
But then we'll show you all the different logs, and we have burning displays, and we also have different logs that are on a shelf that you can see the look of the logs.
This is really fun to talk about, and who knew? And I'm sitting here now because I'm a designer looking at all the different accessories. Talk me through what accessories are not really accessories but necessities for,
Well,
for finishing touch.
It depends on, a gas fireplace doesn't require a fire screen, but if you have small children or animals that you want to keep out of the fireplace, it's always nice to have. Or if you just want the authentic look, like
That's
you
what I
would
was
with your
saying.
wood
For
burning
me, it's a
fireplace.
look.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, if you're doing if you have a wood burning fireplace and you want to buy a screen, we highly recommend the ones that have doors. So you're not having to move it every time you want to add a log, you just open the doors. So it's really, really easy.
Do people come in and really tell you a little bit about their design motif? We're very contemporary, or we're
Absolutely.
okay, and people have definite opinions.
Absolutely.
Is-
They know what they like.
And I'm noticing. See, when I think of a screen, I think of kind of a black wrought iron look. Is that what it would be called? But when you come in and actually look, talk to me about some of the other finishes that are popular.
Well, most of them are iron, but painted.
Oh, okay.
And you can see we carry 2 or 3 different brands. We just absolutely love the Stoll brand because it looks so custom, and they're the ones that make our custom doors.
Got
But
it.
you can see that the difference in the designs, and it's not just fire screens, it's tool holders, log holders, so you can get as fancy or as simple as you want.
All right, and that's sort of what I wanted to do. I sort of just wanted to take a look at what
I'm
you've
going
got
to get
right
out of your
here.
way.
Here, well, come in here with me because it's. I promise.
toasty.
Right, it is. Yeah, exactly. We're really trading.
Yeah.
That was our deal. Half I get warm, half you get warm. But talk to me. Okay, a screen is an item that's an accessory. What are some other accessory items that people might want to have? When you talk about the tool, you talked about tools. What else?
Well, you've got an ash holder. If you do have a wood burning fireplace,
Yes,
this will take
exactly.
the ashes out and you have some place to put them because ashes are really, really dirty.
Okay.
This is an old style
now I'm
bellow.
gonna get on the
So if you
other
want to
side.
fan
Yes.
your
Okay.
wood burning fireplace, that's
Okay.
that's very authentic looking.
All right. Let me ask you another question. I'm going to
Yeah.
pull you back in here. Come on up here.
Yes.
She looks so pretty. She's trying to get out of the camera, isn't she? But she can't do that. You got to stay in here. When we're talking about accessories and about price points, should I come in? Does it help you if I come in with a price point in mind? Are there different? You know, here's what I'm thinking. Like jewelry, there's fine jewelry and fun jewelry, right? Is there something similar in fireplace logs and accessories and things like that?
Well, we certainly have our opening price point.
Okay.
For logs. So if someone has a really strict budget and they have a number in mind, we can certainly take them to that. But at the end of the day, it really comes to the look that you love.
Okay. Once you buy a log, because obviously I know nothing. Can you tell I do not have a fireplace? Do you buy a log and replace logs like logs? Or do you?
No, these sets are actually log sets. So
Okay.
what comes in a log set is the burner, the logs, in a lot of cases the burning ember or the lava rock, and then of course your remote if you want a remote or not.
Are there?
But they come together as a set, so you
it's-
don't
okay.
you don't replace separate pieces.
And what if I'm looking at this? How would you? What makes this set this set? In other words, what am I looking at?
Well, this is actually a set by Golden Blonde. It's called Texas Bonfire, and this actually has 2 burners, so you can buy it with just 1 burner, or you can buy it with 2. So there's an upcharge if you want the 2. And what that means is, if you want both burners, it really requires a 19-inch depth.
Got it.
So while we always ask the measurements of your fireplace, the front width, the back width, it's also helpful to know the depth because there are some of my logs that are absolutely stunning that require a 19-inch depth, which
Okay.
this is one of them. I have another one called Williamsburg Wild Cherry that's absolutely gorgeous, our #1 seller. And they require 19 inches, and then some only require 14. So that's why we really need to know the measurements, so you can decide, first look that you like, and then if your fireplace will hold those logs.
And once again, when I'm looking at these logs, am I looking at, again, you said one is a cherry log. I saw one behind us that looked like it had pine cones in it. So I'm really getting a customized
Well,
log.
the pine cones are really something that you can add to it. We try to put some different accessories inside the logs that show what you can actually add to your fireplace.
I mean, who knew? Here's the takeaway. Again, we always talk about with Lines on Design, we always want a takeaway. The takeaway is you've got to come in and see Deb, you got to see Pam, you got to see Pearl, someone who's here, because honestly, they know what they're talking about. I've never met such professionals
Thank
who
you.
can. I honestly, it is the. I know you're like, I know it's the truth. It really is.
Our staff is very well versed on everything we sell, and our fireside manager, Pearl Malfris, is phenomenal in putting together the lines and what everybody wants.
It's a great team.
thank you.
It really is. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for joining
much.
us on Lines on Design.